Episode 5 of Outer Banks Season 4 begins with John B making his choice and deciding they should hide the body. JJ heads outside and distracts Shoop, while the others clean up the place and hide Terrence behind the sofa. They make it just in time as the group are cleared out so Shoop can talk to JJ in secret. The others realise the gravity of their situation and try to compose themselves. However, Shoop has a copy of the video from the Kooks, who recorded JJ's death threat, as we know. Shoop doesn't want to charge him for this, but does want his help. He has a ton of photos from the dead bodies, including the strange sigil and the strangulation that he shows him. Shoop is taking this very seriously and he wants to know where the kids were on Saturday. JJ lies and claims he was just hanging around with the others fishing. Eventually he leaves, but JJ feeds back to the others that Wes's death is being looked at as a murder. He tries to convince them they have nothing to worry about, but they most certainly do. It's a silly lie, to be honest, given they'll have records from the doctors for Key and JJ being treated, along with a reasonable time frame to confirm they were night fishing at the time of death. They could incriminate Leitner here, given he was patched up, and it would get the kids off the hook, or at least show they're cooperating and not being super suspicious. But of course, confirming all this would diminish the dramatic tension, so they don't do that. Shoop instead decides to have them closely watched. Meanwhile, Rafe signs his deal with Hollis and she tells him that he's going to be meeting the partners soon. He also refuses her advances too, much to Hollis' surprise, claiming he's doing this for him and Sophia, obviously unaware that Sophia has double-crossed him. Rafe apologises to Sophia down on the coastline and there's an awkward moment between them as they hug, and Sophia realises what she's done. While this is going on, the group decides to do right by Terrence and continue on this treasure hunt. They're heading for Charleston very soon, but they're not the only ones, as the captain and Leitner arrive in town and begin looking about. It doesn't take long for John B and the others to realise they're being followed, so they slam on the gas and manage to evade capture and suspicion. They have Terrence wrapped in a body bag, which the police believe is a bag of oysters for some reason, and eventually drop Terrence in the ocean and say their goodbyes. Back at the bunkhouse, JJ receives a letter from Wes. It's handwritten and delivered personally from that strange man down near Goat Island from episode 1. Shoop is actually keeping a close watch on JJ though, who reads the letter and races off, leaving a note for the others that he's apparently running an errand. Shoop inevitably follows JJ. Part of this mission though includes finding his dad, who happens to be chilling out with Barracuda Mike all this time. JJ hands over Wes's letter and asks him for help deciphering exactly what it means, specifically in speaking to him about something called Albatross. When Shoop shows up, Luke promises to explain everything, so JJ reluctantly lets him jump back in the boat and head back to Poglandia. Meanwhile, Rafe arrives and speaks to Key at the shop. He wants to chat to Sarah, but Key is playing hardball. She holds a knife though to protect herself, as Rafe claims to be on their side, of course you are, and not here to stir up trouble. He hands over his business card and tells her to get Sarah to call. Over in Charleston, John B, Sarah, Pope and Cleo try to retrace Blackbeard's steps, heading inland and looking for clues. Well, that soon comes to them in the form of the North Star appearing within stained glass on the church. They soon find the entrance to a crypt inside, which happens to be under the altar. Pope and Sarah head down while Cleo hangs back. In the basement, Sarah and Pope do some digging and find a hidden section in the wall. They crawl through a claustrophobic passage to a larger chamber. Unfortunately, they end up locked inside as the walls close behind them. John B looks around the graveyard while this is going on and finds Routledge's gravestone, which brings back memories of his own father. He's soon distracted by Leitner and his boss, who look for an angel to show the way forward. The duo do find a way into the catacombs via a coffin adjacent to this angel. They use the amulet to unlock it and get inside. Leitner and his boss head down, prompting Sarah and Pope to hide. As they do, Leitner and the captain open up a coffin and find a scroll inside. This is apparently what they're after, and it could well be a map of some kind. Leitner and the captain leave via the route they arrived, using the amulet to lock up the coffin so no one else can follow. Unfortunately, when Pope and Sarah make it to the ladder, they find themselves stuck, and even worse, they realise that the water level seems to be rising. Outside, Cleo ends up fighting with Leitner, who chokes her out once more. John B watches as they race off, with the captain demanding they get out of there given the police could be inbound. Not wanting any more bloodshed on their hands, John B lets them go. Back on the mainland, JJ and his father head all the way up to the top of the lighthouse. There, Luke admits that the Albatross is the name of the boat Larissa Jenrette died on. Luke is not his blood-related father either, and his real mum is actually Larissa. That means that JJ is the real inheritor of Goat Island and the heir. His father, well, is none other than Chandler Gross, and as we cut across to him, we see that Chandler's working with, yep, it's Hollis, which is where episode 5 comes to an end. So Outer Banks ends the first half with a big bombshell reveal about JJ's family, which was quite obvious and foreshadowed given what we saw in episode 2, with Wes looking at the photo and writing his letter. However, who had him killed? It's clear that Chandler and Hollis are working together and they intend to take over Goat Island and try to work JJ out of the will, I'd imagine. It could well be that Chandler killed Wes because he was going to leave JJ everything, which would sort out his financial issues and give him some closure surrounding the family troubles he's had all series long. 5 episodes down and the situation involving Rafe hasn't really gone anywhere just yet, but I'd imagine this will play a more significant role in the second half. The others have an equal share of the screen time though, which is good, but there's a lot of unanswered questions still to dissect. But what of Pope and Sarah? Well, I'd imagine that scuffle with Cleo is going to reveal that she actually grabbed the amulet from Lightner, allowing them to open the coffin and save the others. I would say that Cleo could find her way down from the altar, but it seems unlikely given the passageway closed behind the pair. The treasure hunt has been okay, but once again we get another church and lots of plot contrivances along the way. The lazy way we discover Half Moon Battery, which is just on an easy exhibit in a museum, not even in a book or anything, just seems a bit contrived. Thankfully it's not a giant golden cross this time, but it does feel a bit unimaginative to go this route once more with a church. However, everything is set up nicely for the next half of the season to kick in. And what will happen? Well, we'll have to wait to find out. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.